With RTE's Charlie out now on DVD, Harry Gearan caught up with actor Gavin O'Connor to look back on his role in the acclaimed series.
In the main, it's been very, very positive. I've been reading people like Peter Murto, who wrote The Boss, along with Joe Joyce. I mean, he was so complimentary about the series on the whole, as was Stephen Collins, Geraldine Kennedy. I've had feedback privately from people who were very close to the administration, who I would have spoken to when I researched my role, and just hugely complimentary. And you know, we're delighted with the reaction, absolutely. One of the things that I start with actually is voice and accent, and it's something that I work tremendously hard on this. I mean, the Roscommon accent is a kind of a hard one to get, especially because I'm from Cork and from Munster. But you know, once I got the voice, then we did a lot of hair and makeup tests, try and get the look right. I know that I share certain kind of similarities with him, but we had a fantastic hair and makeup team, and they got the look right. And then costume for me is a massive one. And some of the things we noticed in all the stills of Doherty and the footage and stuff, he dressed a certain way. I mean, he'd always have the top button done in the suit, but not the bottom one, you know. And he had a certain kind of walk that we tried to emulate and stuff. And I noticed as well that he was always leaning with his left hand. So I've seen so many photos where, and I still to this day don't know whether he's left-handed or not, but he'd have a pen in his left hand, he'd have a book in his left hand, a phone, and it was something that I worked on. So getting the look and the voice right initially are the first foundation blocks that I put together for a character. But then after that is trying to go into the mind of the man and trying to get a particular insight into how he reacted and thought about the political situation that he found himself in. Twitter is fantastic. I mean, you hear stuff back from people on Twitter, and I was contacted by a couple of his constituents. One said it was like being in a pub with him 30 years ago. My father was having a pint, and a guy next to him was chatting about the show, and he revealed that he'd been in the special branch with Doherty 30 years ago, and they shared a station. And he said that it was very, very similar. And also as well, the ex-Roscommon goalkeeper, Shane Curran, sent me messages on Twitter saying that I'd nailed it and stuff. So, I mean, that's all lovely stuff, you know. It just means that the work is paid off, you know, and that the research and, you know, kind of the dedication that we put into it is being recognised by people who knew him, who actually knew him. So, I mean, that's very satisfying for me, you know. I think when you're playing a real-life character, I mean, whether it be fiction or whether it be a real life character, you still have to play it impartially. You still got to find the empathy and the motivation within that character. But because he was a real life character, you have a responsibility as well, you know, to try and play him as true as you can. But then because it's a drama based on real life events, you can, you know, you have a little bit more freedom, and you can take a little bit, you know, more liberty. But I enjoyed it. I love that. That's really something that I relish, is having so much to research, and I find it a great challenge. And I mean, as an actor, I mean, what else is there except, you know, the challenge of taking on a complex and controversial man? And I think, yeah, it will stand the test of time, and I think people will look at it in 20 years and say that is a, you know, fantastic document, a record of that period of history.